Good evening and welcome to the full moon forecast. So in this live stream or a video, if you're watching this later on, we will talk about this powerful full moon in Pisces. And we have some exercises that are specific for this full moon energy. We also have some divination cards and stuff like that. So, this full moon, we're kind of it's not like that super powerful full moons that we've been having. It's powerful in its own way, but it's a little bit more sublime in the sign of Virgo with the sun in Pisces. So if I said Pisces full moon, it's really a Virgo full moon. So let's talk about that. Also, the moon is actually in its what's the word? Not perigee, the opposite of that. It's actually farther away, but still, there's definitely a lot to talk about. And we're starting a little bit early. So the reason we're starting at 6 o'clock is because we're doing a transmission with the master teachers at 7 for fighting or busting depression and dark night of the soul kind of stuff. That's actually on Spirit Mind Family. So if you're on Spirit Mind Family, if you're part of that group, we're going to be doing that at 7. Powerful transmission and channeling with the master teachers to clear all depressions and things like that come up in the course of awakening. If you're not in that group, it's only $5 and you get a lot more than just the meditation. And you can find us, it's called Spirit Mind Family on Patreon. So you can go to Patreon, keyword Spirit Mind Family, and you can join that way. So let me just say a few quick hellos and we're going to jump right in here. This shouldn't be that long. We'll see if we can keep this to the half hour today. Shouldn't be too long. Oh, and I will need glasses because I have a lot of my stuff on now. So, not surprisingly, there's not a lot of live people because we're starting early. But hi, Huda, Yvonne, Linda, Barbara, Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. Hi. Confused on what was it? So you were confused? Okay, so this is at 6, and then the transmission on Spirit Mind Family is at 7. Okay, and hi, Brooke, and hi, Chrissy. Welcome. And if anybody's new and they're live and you want to say hi and let us know where in the world you are watching from, please let us know. All right, so I always like to start with a little bit of the astrology and numerology. Now, the moment of the full moon happens here in the East Coast of the United States at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 24th. It's happening at 5 degrees, 23 minutes of Virgo. So 5 degrees is significant. That's Mercury guided numerology, and Virgo is Mercury ruled. So Mercury and Neptune are very major players in the energies of this full moon. So what else is going on? Venus and Mars are conjuncting, right around 9 degrees. The exact conjunctions are actually about 36 hours, I believe, after the actual full moon, but it'll still be in a conjunction energy. And both of those are squaring Jupiter, 10 degrees Taurus. So that's the part of the astrological energy. And this can have both a beneficial as well as a challenging effect on things like money, the government, world diplomacy. So this energy with these astrological aspects. There's others also, but this is the major one. Feels like let me see if I can speak English. Maybe I'll just read my notes. This has the feeling that if everyone, every country, etc., is cooperating, a lot of good can get done with things like world affairs, diplomacy, all that kind of stuff. But one misstep can increase the tensions in the world, governments, money, etc. Now, Venus and Mars are really kind of I think they're both around 9 degrees right at the full moon. The conjunction may actually take place at 10 degrees a little bit later on. But 9 degrees is Mars influence. So that really favors Mars in that conjunction. Mars is kind of the power player there, with Venus kind of there to really kind of, soften things and give a little bit of a divine feminine or a goddess vibe to the whole thing. And it's squaring Jupiter. I mean, that can be tensioned, but tensions aren't necessarily bad, because Jupiter wants things to expand, wants things to grow, wants things to be, fair for everybody, basically. So, so there's a lot of good with that. Now, also, this full moon is very mercurial. So Mercury is a prime player, and it's going to be at 1 degree Pisces. So check out your own astrological chart, and to get an idea of what your Mercury is doing. That'll give you a lot of insight into how this full moon and the 2 weeks that follow are going to personally affect you. But what we write down here. So Mercury is a player, 1 degree Pisces, with a solar conjunction. The sun's going to be at 5 degrees, so opposite the moon. So it's not a strong conjunction, but it's still a conjunction. So this can really shed light on the subconscious, because it's in Pisces, the sign of the subconscious. Mercury is the mind. The sun is the illuminator and the healer also. So is Mercury. So, put a little bit of Mercury and sun on the subconscious. We can really, dive into some deep subconscious healing with the energies of this moon, individually and collectively. And also, the numerology is interesting, because for pretty much the whole planet, I think if you go way, way east, it's the day after, or is it the day before? I think it's the day after, actually. So, but for most of the planet, 2/24 is the day that this full moon is happening. Actually, what it is, if you go far enough west into like places like the Marshall Islands, like east of the international date line, it's actually the day before. Anyway, I'm being very technical here. The idea, it's a universal 6 day, which reduces to 7. So that feeds the Pisces energy. That's Neptune influence numerology also. So that really makes it very, very strong. And 16 is the tower in the tarot. So this can really help to tear down the walls of illusion and delusion, because Pisces likes illusion and delusion. It also likes intuition and likes to delve deeper into the subconscious. So basically, what I wrote down in my notes here is 16 day, which feeds Pisces energy, can heal, clear energy, tear down facade, good moon for shadow work. So anyway, there's a little bit of background. Well, 2/24 is your birthday. Happy solar return right on the full moon this year. That's very awesome. And you're born right at 5 degrees. Oh, it could be 6 or 4 degrees, but probably 5 degrees Pisces. All right. 5 things that we need to know. Number 1, healing on all levels. Mercury is very active. That's the major player. Mercury, Hermes, the healer, and then the sun, and also in Pisces energy helps really to work through those deep wounds, those shadow aspects, those suppressed traumas, other lifetime events. Very good for intuition also, although that's number 2. I'm jumping ahead. So number 1 is healing on all levels. So let's see the subconscious. Also, your abilities as an energy healer increases naturally under this energy. Now, mind you, this effect carries into the entire waning moon cycle, which is 2 weeks, from the full moon, about 15 days on. And it actually starts to affect, I think yesterday was the 11th day of the moon, either yesterday or today. So we're coming into the energies already. I'm not going to look at the calendar, but right around the 11th day of the moon, and that's when the glandular systems tend to reset for the higher lunar energies around the full moon. So it's a good day to eat light, lots of greens. This is according to Kundalini Yoga training and information. So I just figured I'd add that, because we're right there now. I think it was yesterday, but I could be mistaken. It could be today. Anyway, your abilities as an energy healer may tend to surface more under this. And if you do that, or you enjoy doing that, this is a good time to start learning more and start developing. It's very good for all levels of channeling, by the way. Because Mercury, and again, Mercury is air, so that's like the natural planetary energy of getting information from the ethers or from spirits that are not physical. And then, of course, there's that Pisces, that intuition. So very good for channeling too. Focus on personal healing and shadow work during the waning moon. the best moon of the year for doing cleansings and restoration. So this is a good time. This time of year, February to March, is very good for doing clearing, things like fasting and all that kind of stuff, cleansing, doing gut restoration or gut healing. I'm doing that now, as I explained on Tarot Time, doing some work with like L-glutamine and bone broth, and I call it gut food, coconut probiotics, to work on healing my gut. And of course, the gut is called the second brain by some healers, meaning that if our stomachs are off, it tends to give us brain fog, and it tends to exacerbate any autoimmune tendencies that we may have. So really good time for that, doing colonics, doing fasting, micro fasting, lots of water, cleansing diets. Really, really good time of the year to do that. And right on the full moon during those 2 weeks of the waning moon, absolutely, absolutely perfect. So that's number one, healing on all levels. Second thing to know about this full moon, which I kind of spilled the beans a second ago a little bit, but intuition runs very high. So work with your intuition more, with your channeling, automatic writing, divination cards, whatever you do. Channeling, messages from spirit increase, supports meditation practice. This full moon supports all spiritual endeavors because it's in Virgo, but the sun's in Pisces, and there's actually 4 planets in Pisces plus the sun during this full moon. What would those 4 planets be? I think it's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Neptune, and then the sun. But the astrologers here may chime in if I'm making an error. So anyway, and again, good for all shadow work too. So there's a good time to really double down on meditation, to focus a little bit more on spiritual work. The Mercury energy, I mean the Virgo energy, that aspect of Mercury tends to be more like the more sedate aspects of Mercury. It's more like the memory or information, and of course, Virgo's known to be a very healing sign. Suppose the Gemini, which is more the active side of Mercury. But anyways, all right. So I think we get the idea. All right. Can we see the shadow behind me? There's a shadow behind me. That may be, I have like a little kind of blue violet light and a ring light. So you may be seeing the shadow from my blue light. I don't know, unless it's a spirit, or unless it's one of my guides. You're saying, can we can see shadow behind you? Yeah, yeah, that shadow there. Me and my shadow. So it's good for shadow work. Yeah. What happens when you shine a light on a shadow? It's no longer shadow. That's what shadow work means. You shine the light of awareness of those things in your subconscious that get triggered by the environment and other people, that cause negative patterns and negative behaviors. Once you shine the light on it, it's not a shadow anymore, and you can integrate it, and you can heal whatever caused the shadow in the first place. Really, really good time for that. All right. So number 3 thing to know basically is the facades fall. We've been saying this every month and every live stream. I know, but each step along the way, more facades are falling. More the illusions and delusions of this house of cards society that we're living in. That basically little bug, almost took the whole thing down. They're rebuilding it. They're kind of putting the cards back together and trying to scramble to rebuild this. But again, it's a facade. It's built on a very unstable foundation of greed, power over others. A sustainable foundation would be love, would be compassion, would be caring, and of course, government by the people, for the people, that takes the interests of the people above profit, which is the exact opposite of the world and the structures of government around the world and corporations that we're living in now. So these are all facades. The 16 degrees of this full moon, that's the day that it's not 16 degrees, it's a 16 universal day, excuse me. But it's also Pisces energy, Pisces Virgo energy. So facades fall, open up for major announcements, especially in March. So I think we're going to see some very major world news coming up, maybe towards the end of February even. world economy is highlighted. Well, it's starting to building up that way, and there's a lot of conjecture on how the world economy is going to be structured. You're breaking news stories, possible twists in pandemics or viruses or new health concerns, and this can lead to more UFO and other types of disclosure. But the main thing is more comes to the surface, more corrupt things become exposed. It's sort of a cascading effect that builds upon each other. February's been a really, really big month for that as forecast. We don't see a lot of it on mainstream news, but we see trickles of it. And then, again, depending on what news outlets you trust, because a lot of them are to program people basically. So you have to be careful. But anyway, that's happening. So number 4, reprogramming. So that's kind of a little bit of shadow work also. That 4 planets in Pisces, Sun in Pisces, Virgo, the healing sign, the sign of Mercury, an intellectual sign also. Perfect for reprogramming the subconscious mind. Um, and the Sun's also in Pisces. So Mercury's of the mind, Pisces subconscious. This is this is so perfectly scripted, so do it. And we have plenty of tools on the channel. We talk a lot about how to do subconscious reprogramming. Know that we get programmed through the power of repetition. Not 90% of it's in place by time we're 7. We see the same thing over and over again with our parents or teachers and all that stuff, and it becomes our program. So it starts by adopting new habits, and then over time, well, actually, let me even take this a step further. Adopting new mindsets, and that can happen through, again, doing your affirmations, sleep programs, and things like that. Then these new suggestions start to become habits in your life, and over time, habits become new subconscious programs. So, it's a given that the world, society programs us. So, or brainwashes us, if you like that word better. So instead of letting them do it, you learn how to do it yourself. Like brainwash yourself. Understand the subconscious works on programs. That's how the brain is structured, and computers are fashioned after the human mind and the human nervous system, the synapses, and which is very close to syntax. I don't think it's a coincidence. So anyway, there's many tools of doing that. You're working with the heart-brain coherence, doing your affirmations daily, repetitively, sleep programs, mental rehearsal, all the stuff we talk about in different live streams. And I have information here. You can look at what Joe Dispenza and people like him are saying also, because he's very much a guru of mind over matter and subconscious reprogramming. If you need a little bit of more guidance on how to do it and stuff like that, and you can look at our video, shadow integration, where we have a couple on reprogramming and stuff like that also. But I think you guys get the idea, right? So affirmations is the way to go. All affirmations are in the present tense. They're all empowering. They're all positive. And when it comes to programming your subconscious mind, work with affirmations that have intentions behind it. That I'm now, powerful and confident. Those kind of things. I am worthy and deserving of all the good things, because most of us have been programmed to feel like we're not deserving. Basically, it's a way for society to keep us in our places, so to speak, and disempower us. So reprogram the subconscious mind, and that's very, very powerful in this particular form. Number 5 thing, almost missed the line. Well, what happens for people that are jumping on late, that as soon as we're done, you can go back to the beginning, catch what you missed. All manifestation work, and that's every full moon, because when the moon is full, the moon is at its height of power. So what is it that you wish in your life? Really visualize it, maybe light a candle, on or around the full moon. Feel like it's already happening. Be grateful that it's already happening. And there's a little side note, you can work with water because of all this Pisces energy, and of course, working with the subconscious. So combining your subconscious reprogramming, really being clear about what you want to create in your life, new job, a new relationship, success in your current business or job. Really feel it, own it in the present moment. If you can engage the heart in your work, it makes it more powerful. Because the idea is, if you can blend your heart and brain, so we talk a lot about heart-brain coherence here, and that practice for those that are new. The heart is the battery, it's the engine, it's the the battery of change, and the brain is the transmitter receiver of information. So when you can hold the clear intention in your mind, and you can feel grateful as if it already happened, or really feel that intention like it's real in your heart, if you can blend that, it makes your law of attraction work much more powerful. No matter what you do, if it's affirmation, scripting, mental rehearsal, vision boards, whatever it is, practice, again, getting very present, very grateful in the moment. The more present you can be, that you're not a name, you're not a body, your energy and frequency, the more you blend with spirit or the quantum field. And then you hold an intention in your mind, like see it happening. Like for me on YouTube, one of the techniques that I use is the congratulations method. In other words, seeing people's texts and people's phone calls, like, congratulations, Dad, I can't believe that you reached 500,000 subscribers, that kind of a thing. But you want whatever technique you use, make it real in the present moment. See yourself doing or living where you want to live, or having all the money, or holding hands with your soulmate and just gazing in his or her eyes and really feeling like you're very connected. So when you keep that intention, that vision, whether it's visualization or a sense of imagination or knowing, and then you charge it with the heart, gratitude, compassion, like it's already happening, feeling great about it, that is that moves mountains. So work with that in your manifestation. All right. So only 6:23. I don't know if we'll quite do this in a half hour, but close. That's my goal. And there's not a lot of exercises to do. It's kind of like, I feel like saying, do the same thing, reprogramming, what we always do, get out into nature. However, heart-brain coherence for self-healing. What was that? Number, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. But this is very healing energy, number 1. So heart-brain coherence, you can apply that to healing. How do we do heart-brain coherence? Step 1, get present. Well, step 1 could be also, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful that I'm able to share the gifts of spirit in this format on YouTube and on my Patreon group. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm not freezing, even though it's cold outside. I've got a warm house. Right? So you get the idea. But what we want to do is to get really relaxed, get into your breath, get very present. Again, you're not a name, you're not a body, your energy, your frequency, your spirit, or manifestation of spirit. And just sit with that presence for a moment. And if you do it, you'll get almost like a rush of energy, like you'll shift. And Joe Dispenza describes this as slipping through the eye of the needle into the quantum field, is how he expresses that. So, for me, I just feel like this tremendous head rush, and it's like my energy just zooms. And then I know I'm starting to blend, and I know that I'm very present in the moment. So I want to get very present. And then when I'm very present, I want to feel grateful just for the now, just for the present moment. It's perfect right now. I could be in pain. It doesn't matter. My personal pain doesn't take away from the perfection of this now moment that we're all experiencing. That's just my personal story. And it's still perfect. So I think you get the ideas where we're going. Point being, if you want to know the underlying point, is there are times that feeling grateful is going to be the last thing on earth that you want to do. If you're in a bad mood, having a lousy day, you're in pain. So it takes a little work. There's a reason why it's a spiritual discipline that it's a spiritual exercise that requires spiritual discipline. We have to learn to override our egoic selves or our personal mind, and blending with spirit or source is the way to do it. Again, when you feel that present, chances are a lot of your personal challenges will dissolve in that moment anyway, so it'll be easier. So again, I'm very grateful in the present. I feel also compassion, and I find if I can blend gratitude with a little dash of compassion, that let me turn the pings off. That that's what gets me into that master frequency that people like Greg Braden talk about, and Teresa Bullard. It's this frequency of gratitude. It's the master frequency because we align with the universe, because the universe is the ultimate giver. When we feel grateful, it's because we become a vibrational match to the universe. And then that's the master frequency. It really is that simple. It's just that our programming is so complicated. It's hard to appreciate that. And it usually takes a lot of practice. Well, not a lot, but some practice to really get there. So once you're there, again, you're feeling grateful, your brain and your heart start to blend. That's why it's heart-brain coherence. Your heart becomes coherent because a coherent heart is a heart in gratitude and compassion. And then your brain and your heart are really connected. Society and our programming severs that to some degree, but they're still connected. So what I want you guys to do is actually consciously, when you feel gratitude and compassion, and you feel that in your heart, also feel that in your brain, as if your heart's in your brain and vice versa. And that's going to blend it. So once you're there, you are already accessing DNA that may be dormant. You're already accessing higher potentials of spirit within yourself just by doing that. So apply that to healing. If it's a condition, like a systemic condition, or hopefully not, but if it's something like cancer or MS or Parkinson's or something more serious like that, when you're doing that, you can blend that whole condition. Like, what does that condition look like to you? What color is it? And then feel like that's being blended, like your heart and your brain are blending that condition. If it's a part of the body, as your heart and your brain blend that part of your body with your heart and your brain, and feel the energy like that part of your body is there also. This is how I work with my back. I've got both scoliosis and the displaced vertebrae. That's in my mid 60s now. When it goes out, it can be very painful, and it doesn't heal too easily on its own. I need to go to a chiropractor and do ultrasound, and that can happen very, very easily given the shape of my back. So what do? I do this work. Everything that I teach, I do. So it's like it's not like a do what I say. It's more like do what I do because it's working for me. I haven't been to the chiropractor for 14 months and counting, which is a record for the last couple of decades, by the way. I haven't needed ultrasound. My back's gone out minorly a couple times, but it's healed quickly. And when I'm doing this work, I'm also visualizing my spine is straight, because I know that in my DNA, which is in every cell of my body, that's 15 trillion cells. Within the DNA lies the model for the perfect human and the perfect spine. And if I can blend my consciousness with that model, my body, again, a lot of these potentials are dormant until we awaken more spiritually. Then I can tap into that model, and my spine will actually straighten. I think it's doing that. I mean, as you get older, these things get worse, not better. And people will say, well, you do yoga, you're in good shape. Well, I've been doing yoga, since my 20s. So that's nothing new. My first chiropractor, which I found a second chiropractor very quickly after the first one, by the way, examined me and said, well, you're not going to be you're probably going to need a wheelchair by the time you're 50. That's how dire he made it sound. And in my mind, I did not own that at all. I was like, I was cordial, like, oh wow, okay. But in my mind, it's like, no freaking way. By the time I hit 50, I was walking on my hands. So behold the power of yoga, right, Doreen? Behold the power of yoga, but also the power of intention. So anyway, that's how to use heart-brain coherence to heal. You can use that for law of attraction and for intuition also, and other things. The other things they were saying is charge your water, feel my heart open, feel my heart and brain blend. Love, gratitude, healing. I can send that into the water. Thanks to Dr. Emoto and others, we now know the water is amenable. Is that the right word? Or receptive might be a better word, to human intention and vibration, or vibration in general. So the water crystals change. If you get the water to the exact temperature and pressure, there's physical changes in water depending on what emotions you emit into that water. So that's amazing. Your water is so amazing on so many levels. So charge your love, gratitude, health, healing, vitality. Especially if you have pipes like I do, or if you use bottled water, it's plastic. Either way, it's devitalized. There's no chi. Doctor, or not doc, I don't know, he might be a doctor, but Montauk Chia talks a lot about water also. A Taoist teacher that I follow, and maybe the creator, but the teacher of the microcosmic orbit, amongst other things. He swears by working with water also. So you charge and then you drink it. And then you can do that with your bath water also, or to charge your bath water for healing, or for clearing out toxins or stuff like that. And the water will respond and will work with you. I mean, we're over 70% water, right? Water's conscious. They proved that. So breath work, nature, all that stuff. Get out into nature, feel the flows of nature. Every day maybe stop, get present, open your heart, and just consciously create flow in your body. When you're very present, you're not in your thinking mind, and you're blending more with spirit, your intention moves energies. Like it moves chi and prana. So you can do that and set the intent. I'm going to move prana through the top of my head, through my body, to clear my energy fields, and it'll happen. Again, it takes practice like anything else, but it will happen. So do things like that. So let's do some divination cards. And those of you that got a little bit confused with the time, I tried to post this often so that wouldn't happen. But the reason is because at 7, we're doing some energy work and healing with the group that I work with called the Master Teachers, for the people that are new. But that's on Patreon. That's on Spirit Mind Family. So you guys that are on Spirit Mind Family, that's happening at 7. So I hope you can join us. If you're not on it, it's on Patreon. Keyword, it's $5 to join, but keyword Patreon. Spirit, or go to patreon.com, keyword Spirit Mind Family, and then you can join that way. I mean, there's a free option also, but the transmissions aren't included in the free services. That's $5. I think that's very reasonable. And we do frequency work, and we're going to help to clear depression, whether it's depression from evolution and awakening, the dark night of the soul. It's Dark Night of the Soul month on Patreon, on Spirit Mind Family. Or if you have clinical or situational depression, they're going to work with our frequencies to help us to uplift our vibration and frequency to clear depression. So anyway, that's happening at 7. If anybody wants to join, that's where we're going to be. So first, I just have 3 different divination decks I'm using. This one's a little different today. This is called the Divine Abundance cards, and each one has like a little message or a prayer, one or the other. So I'm going to ask Spirit to guide my hand to the right prayer or the right message for us, because abundance is a good thing. We are abundant beings in abundant universes, but again, sometimes we're programmed to forget that. Especially when the powers that be try to withhold energy, or energy in the form of money, that is, they try to withhold it from us, even though it exists virtually in unlimited quantities. Virtually. Got my card. Went very quickly there. This is an interesting one. It says faith. We've gotten this one before also. There tend to be repeats with this group, and I do shuffle them pretty well. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. That's an affirmation that you can use. I will repeat that. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. And that's what the card looks like. Looks like a beautiful water lotus. Um, or maybe it's a land lotus. It looks like a water lotus. Um, Lotus by any other name. It's a beautiful flower. And there's the message. So that's that. Next divination card, the frequency. I always like to use my, what frequency do they want us to work with on this full moon in the next 2 weeks? And what other information that I may have missed about this full moon do we want to share also? That's my intention. Here's my card and your card, our card. Gaia. We've gotten Gaia before also. Let's honor the earth too. So saying you're missing the earth. Well, hello, it's a Virgo earth sign, full moon. How could I miss the earth, right? So that's number 6, honor the earth. And the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So we still have Pluto at 1 degree Aquarius. That's very community energy. Now, you may get a message just by gazing in the middle and absorbing the sacred geometry. So that's what this is, the sacred geometry cards. But that would be the thing that I miss, is to work with the earth energies also. Do a lot of grounding. They're showing me, it's interesting. They're telling me to say, you get very relaxed, get very present, feel your heart, and imagine that from your heart that there's a lightning bolt that goes down your body, through your feet, and creates this lattice roots all the way through the earth. So this is a different meditation. I've never used this before. So imagine a lightning bolt just kind of shoots down into the earth and branches out all directions throughout the whole earth. And then when you're there, just see that lightning bolt, that electricity condenses into roots or lattices. And they're saying to make it gold or copper in color. And then you can inhale and draw energy up from the earth, and exhale and draw energy down. So do some earthing or grounding as part of your meditation. Very good. Again, this full moon and the 2 weeks that follow are ideal for meditation work and for going within. It's not the most action-oriented full moon. But it's very good for things like intuition. But that said, we do have a little bit of a 9 degree Mercury and Mars going in, which so that there is action and energy available to you. So it's not just completely mellow or whatever. But I feel like action that's taken is going to be very swift. Maybe that's why they gave me the lightning bolt meditation. Going to be very swift, very direct. So make your action very swift and very direct. But the lion's share of the energy is going to be more about understanding yourself more. Who are you, on all levels? Because most of us don't really even know who we are. I mean, you guys, because you're doing spiritual work, know better than most. So that's the thing, discovering who am I as spirit? Who am I as energy? What is my life purpose? And really meditate on those things. And make that the focus, and it's a good moon for dreaming. Again, it's Virgo, but the Pisces energy is very strong, and of course healing. So really, like it's good to really just get a strong visualization, create that energy of your dreams and desires, make that really strong in your heart and your energy. And when actions call for it, take swift action. But no, if you do this the next couple of weeks, we come into it's a Pisces full new moon, but it's still a new moon. It's still more energy for creativity and to create new things. So last but not least, let's do an angel message, and then we're gonna get ready. So welcome everybody. Hi Brooke, first time here. Welcome. Hi Hilda. Yeah, I'm really more apt to do more like community shares on tarot time at 11 a.m. on Sundays. That's become more of our community. This one, I really want to get the information out more quickly. Yeah, I'm thinking about the people that are watching this as a video as well. But I'll say a few quick hellos, and if a really cool comment comes up and I catch it, I may post it anyway. So this is angel therapy cards from Doreen Virtue, from her prior incarnation as Doreen Virtue. Manifestation power. So they're saying, yeah, this, even though it's not action, it's very subconscious, really good for manifestation also. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcomes. So become a vibrational match. How do we do this? We feel like it's already happening. We feel grateful for it. Remember, gratitude's the master frequency. When we feel grateful because we received something really amazing, and the universe is really amazing, and it's the ultimate giver. So just feeling gratitude and holding that in your heart, just feeling grateful, aligns you with that master frequency. And what it is that you're grateful for, you start to create that first energetically, and then it affects the quantum reality, and over time it affects physical reality. On the physical plane, everything takes time. I find with law of attraction, the number one reason that people fail with it is they give up too soon. I used it to heal severe chronic eczema that I had for almost 60 years of my life. I've been 8 years free, so that would be about 57, 58 years I've had it. It took me 3 years, but every day, no matter how I was feeling, no matter how much I was itching, in my mind, there's no itching, there's no asthma, there's no eczema, all that was gone. I was clear. There's no steroids every day, all that stuff. And I augmented that with gut maintenance diets also. So what we feed our mind is number one. What we feed our body is number two when it comes to health. What we feed our pathogens and genetics, that's actually number three. Although there's exceptions to every rule, but so that's basically how you do that. Yeah. And that's how I was able to heal. I had to use topical steroids my whole life. I had a little break in my 20s and went into a semi-remission where I didn't have to use it every day. By the time I hit 30, every single day, topical steroids, the strong stuff, rounds of prednisone, paper thin skin, liver enzymes off, all that stuff. I don't need that stuff anymore because I use mind over matter and I didn't give up. I applied law of attraction to heal my body. I'm also working on money. I talk a lot about money manifestation, but I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire. I'm still kind of struggling a little bit on that level. But that said, I'm not giving up, and I'm so much better off than I was a few years ago. I'm whittling away the debt, so I'm a lot better off. So it is working. So basically, when I'm teaching like money manifestation, I'm kind of doing it with you guys, and we're kind of supporting and sharing with each other. But that's the other thing. I'm manifesting it in my mind when I'm doing my work. I already have the millions of dollars that I desire, and that I feel like I don't need it, but that I desire it to really support my work and to be free in this world, basically. So I'm really making it real, and yeah, and I know that I have karma that works against it, so that's why sometimes it takes a long time if you're having to work through karmic issues, or if you're deeply programmed growing up that money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil. And my 20s, I had disdain for rich people, and then what we called yuppies at the time. It's like, that's not exactly a good mindset to create money, right? So it's taken me a while, but the point is that most people give up too soon, but one of my best qualities is I'll never give up. So it's like, yeah, I'll never give up. So we need to have that mindset also. All right, so we've been almost 45 minutes. Let's end for now. And don't forget to like. Thank you. Yeah, please like the video, and we can get this out to more people maybe. And Winter World's also saying Montauk Chia's wisdom helped me. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, and I know I missed a lot of amazing comments also, but thank you guys, and thank you very much. So those of you that are gonna part of Spirit Mind Family on Patreon that are gonna do the meditation, we'll see you in 15 minutes there. Love you.